This is the list of best-selling single-volume books of all time and in any language. At number 10 is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It is a fantasy novel for children by C.S. Lewis, written originally in English and was first published in the year 1950. It's the first published and best known of 7 novels in the Chronicles of Narnia. The book has sold more than 85 million copies. Alice in Wonderland is at number 9. It is an 1865 novel written in English by mathematician Charles Dodgson under the pseudonym Lewis Carroll. The book has sold approximately 100 million copies. A girl named Alice falls through a rabbit hole into a fantasy world populated by peculiar, anthropomorphic creatures. The tale plays with logic and is one of the best examples of the literary nonsense genre. At number 8 is Dream of the Red Chamber. It was composed by Chao Suecan in Chinese in late 18th century and has sold around 100 million copies. It is considered to be a semi-autobiographical chronicle of the rise and fall of the author's own family and of the Qing dynasty. At number 7 is World's Favorite Christie, and Then There Were None. It was first published in 1939 as 10 Little Niggers. 10 people are lured into coming to an island and they get killed one by one. A fantastic tale of intrigue, woven thread by thread into a spine-tingling tapestry. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien is at number 6. Written in 1937, the book has also sold over 100 million copies. The book follows the quest of home-loving hobbit Bilbo Baggins to win a share of the treasure guarded by Smaug, the dragon. Epic. At number 5 is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. First in the Harry Potter series, it was first published in 1997. The initial print run was of 500 copies, 300 of which were distributed to libraries. The book has sold 107 million copies to date. The Little Prince is at number 4. First published in 1943, it is the most famous work of French aristocrat, writer, poet, and pioneering aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The Little Prince is a poetic tale, with watercolor illustrations by the author, in which a pilot stranded in the desert meets a young prince fallen to Earth from a tiny asteroid. It has sold over 140 million copies. At number 3 is the Portuguese novel, The Alchemist by Brazilian author, Paulo Coelho. The allegorical story follows a young shepherd in his journey to Egypt, after having a recurring dream of finding treasure there. Coelho wrote it in only 2 weeks in 1987. The most translated book by a living author has sold over 150 million copies. At number 2 is A Tale of Two Cities. A novel by Charles Dickens, set in London and Paris and before and during the French Revolution. First published in 1859, the book has sold over 200 million copies. And, at number 1 is Don Quixote. A Spanish novel by Miguel de Cervantes, first published in 1612, has sold approximately 500 million copies. The story follows the adventures of a hidalgo, who reads so many chivalric romances that he loses his sanity and decides to set out to revive chivalry, undo wrongs, and bring justice to the world. How many of these have you read? Want more such lists? Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Visit our channel page to check our other sections.